Hello and welcome to, I'm going to say, a new and improved episode of Who Would Win Masters. Last week, we took to the skies in a dogfight of high fantasy versus high tech. Today, we're reading your comments, your reviews. We're going to reveal the results of the official and unofficial poll. I am Sam Proof on all the socials, and we're going to see how you voted and what you had to say about the Battle of Smog versus Airwolf. Our guest for this episode was actor-comedian Kevin Israel, repping Airwolf. And representing the dragon Smaug, a man who hoards Funko Pops like the old worm hoards gold. And much like Smaug declared himself king under the mountain, I'm talking about the one and only Ray Stacanis. Ray, how you doing? Thanksgiving was just last week. Are you still picking through the leftovers? Is that just me?
No, I've still got an entire turkey leg left. I've got plenty of other various sides. We've eaten it quite a bit. Thanksgiving, as a lot of people know, is my favorite holiday of the entire year.
Nice.
And that is because if I was to create a holiday from scratch, you said, Ray, I want you to make a holiday. My holiday would involve three things. It would involve eating too much. It would involve drinking too much. And it would involve watching Detroit Lions football. And somehow there is a real holiday,
actual holiday
wrapped around those three things.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, my favorite used to be Halloween, but I gotta say, I think it is now, in fact, Thanksgiving as well, because I just like the eating. I'm not a big sports guy, but the eating is my sport. So check back.
I love it. No, look, I'm a big fan of the eating.
Yeah.
I think I may have actually lost weight over this Thanksgiving break, but that's only because I eat so much at one meal that I just skip the next two. And I think it balances out in my favor. And I'm very excited about doing that.
Nice. Are you one of the lucky few that have multiple Thanksgiving meals, or did you just have the one big feast at home?
No, we host. I'll tell you right now, because we don't want to go anywhere. And so we just host. We have a lot of people, a lot of kids, families with kids over to the house. Sam, you should have come over. You know what? You're invited. You're invited next year. You know what? That's an oversight on my part.
That's okay.
And that is a shame.
That's okay. We had so Amanda, my wife, her school does like a giant annual potluck called the Vittles Dinner. So all of the parents and their kids come, and they all bring, a dish of some kind. Then the kids do a cutesy little performance. And as the teacher or husband of the teacher, we end up coming home with a lot of leftovers. So we, like 3-4 years ago, stopped doing our own Thanksgivings or traditional Thanksgivings. And now on the day, we just do a giant charcuterie board of meats and cheeses.
Like that.
Which are a damn good time. But
well, here's the deal. You and the whole family are invited over next year because we know we're doing it. And you know what? That's an oversight on my part. I apologize to you, but we'll get you in for the next one.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Looks like we actually have some people dropping in on the chat. Lord Snurts, hello. And you could be joining us live if you join our very brand new Patreon. So we did abandon ship on the old Who Would Win Show Patreon. We have our own Patreon, patreon.com/Who Would Win Masters, where you will now get the calls to, or the secret links to these live behind the scenes broadcasts for the wrap up shows and so much more. We're still building it up, still adding things to it. Things are coming. So get over there while you can. I mean, which is always, you will always be able to get over there. And that is where you're going to find us from now on. So how's it going, Lord Snurts? Welcome. Thanks for joining us live. It's good to see somebody made it over, which is awesome. Snurts says, Thanksgiving is great. And that's the t-shirt of the day.
Yep. Yeah. And we have a lot of different social media. Look, a lot of changes have happened to what we'll now call the former Who Would Win network. And I have some things that I want to talk about with that. But before we get into any of that, because you're going to have noticed changes potentially in your feeds, in all of the above, and I want to address that right away. Sam Proof, can you talk to us about all the new socials? Because that is an important part of these steps that we have taken.
Look, in addition to the new Patreon, you're going to find us at YouTube, Instagram. We have a new, there's a TikTok that's been around for a while, but it's all branded Who Would Win Masters. We kind of have a Discord link. Those are We don't have a good, easy, memorable link for that, so you can find that in any of the YouTube videos. It should be in the video description.
Oh, how
But
about
yeah,
that?
you can find us on youtube.com/, at who would win masters. Sadly, YouTube, it's weirdly specific. Instagram and TikTok, it's that URL /who would win masters. And again, of course, Patreon /who would win masters. Maybe we need a website. I don't know if we're going to do that anytime soon, but maybe we need that. We are going to set up
Maybe.
a link tree or link in bio that will have all of those beautiful links in one place. So you don't have to remember all of them, although they're very easy.
Yeah, I
But
was going to
yeah,
say, you go to any website and you type in who would win Masters, and
you'll
ideally we're
find
going
it.
to come up at that point.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it as easy as possible through this really bizarre transition that we're doing.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of content that we're putting up there, especially over on the YouTube. I've been plugging away, not just putting up old videos and clips from those videos. The new stuff's coming out too. They have a lot of people are not aware of this, but YouTube has its own whole like vertical of like we're going to be we're going to be Twitter and Instagram, as well as we're going to compete with like Reels and TikTok. So you got long form videos, you got live streaming, and you have the shorts, of course, but then you have what are considered posts and community. So you can go over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ at who would win masters. And you just look at the top of the channel for the posts, and you'll find all of the sort of text and photo and polls from us. But if you want to take it one step further, uh, there's a weird thing happened recently where, can I talk about the Facebook page incident? I don't know if that's
Well, that's what
a
we're going to talk
thing.
about, in a
Yeah,
second. If you want to bring it up, I'll add some more information about it.
yeah. So that went away, that giant Facebook page, but you can put those 1v1 battles on our YouTube community. If you're a subscriber there, you have to be a subscriber for 24 hours. That is a YouTube thing. I have no control of that. You can just start posting those battles there. But yeah, I don't know, Ray, if you have other things you want to add to this.
Yeah, there's a little bit to say. Like, you might have noticed that, like, we're rebranded. We're no longer seen as the Who Would Win Network. We tried to give that a go for as much of this year as we could. We are now branded the Who Would Win Masters Network because it's my account, so that's what we're gonna do. And yeah, I just wanted to mention all of this. We have decoupled ourselves officially with James and the Who Would Win Unleashed crew, and it's quite honestly gutting, and it's quite honestly one of the most difficult things that I've had to do in a long, long time. And I just want to just be open about it. I want to be honest about it. And I just want to tell you, what's been going on. They no doubt are going to keep their same social medias, their Instagrams. They're going to keep the Patreon. So if you're still involved in there, over there, and you like what they're doing, stay over there. I'm not saying anything different. And they're going to keep their own, what I say, Instagram, all of the above, all the things that they are doing. There's a Who Would Win Facebook page, but what kind of culminated in the last week plus, and it goes back a little further than that. But the Facebook page that we had here, which was nearly 200,000 people, got taken down by Facebook for too many posting violations. Which, if you have a site on Facebook that is big of a certain size, and let's keep it real, 200,000 people is a lot of people, and we did our
That is.
best to moderate that, keep the wrong people out of it. The thing is, though, like their ability to do that on Facebook is lame. It's terrible. It sucks. I'll just go ahead and say it. So spammers and scammers just are going to get on your page if they've been doing it long enough. They're going to post things that are against, Facebook terms of service. And no matter how much you ban those people, it's like a hydra, and 5 more pop up when you try to ban one. And so, the show got put into some sort of probation again. We were on probation a year ago. And then they put every single post must be approved. They say, okay, so we're just not going to approve any posts for a while. We're just going to go dark, I guess, for like a month. And then they just, without any fanfare, remove the page anyway. At a certain point, certain moves were made behind the scenes that I did not really care for. I felt like the other operation on this feed was cutting us out of some of the social media and some of the agreed to things that we had. And so as a direct result of that and other things as well, let's be honest. I'm not going to talk about all of them here, but because of some of the many things that have happened, which caused a lack of goodwill between the two operations, the decision was made to say, you know what? If you would like to go do your own thing, you should go do your own thing. We're going to keep doing our own thing, and let's just exist in two worlds adjacent but unaligned. And I think that's the best way to say it. Like I say,
Right.
I'm still kind of torn up about it. You can't be doing this the way I was doing this for so long without, caring. I know caring in the year 2025 is not a thing to do, but I can't help it, y'all. But
Yeah.
I'm heartbroken about it, and we're just going to keep going forward. We're going to try to do our best to separate anything that might still remain, and we're just going to do our best. So come with us on this journey if you would like to. And I guarantee you that once I figure out what Unleashed has going on, I'm going to do my best to at least let you know of its existence, because I think that's important. So that's sort of what I'm going to say about that for right now. Who knows? Maybe another interview down the road will shed more light, but I think that's saying everything I want to say about it in the moment.
Right on. All right. Well, with that being said, I think we should get into it, and start going over people's reviews of the last episode. What we got in the chat there, real quick. Snart says it's been a rough year, and I appreciate the efforts to keep this going. Thanks for
It
saying that.
really has,
Yeah, yeah,
in many ways.
yeah. All right. Do we need to take a break before we get into this? Or we want to just
No,
get
I think we
rolling?
get
Let's
straight
go.
into it. Look, we
All
are
right.
we are at the end of the day, Sam, we are alleged
Yeah.
professionals. And so we can
Allegedly.
talk
Yeah.
about some of the battle. We are here at the end of the day. And this is where this episode's going to be a little bit weird, in that we normally would go to all the social media. We'd rip Facebook comments. We'd take
Yeah.
Patreon comments. We'd do a Patreon poll. But all of these things over the Thanksgiving holiday were essentially made new, and or
Yes.
disappeared entirely. And so we're starting a new thing. And that's where, if you're listening to this right now, it is a personal request from me to you to come on to the Instagram, the YouTube channel, the Patreon, even if you want to come in as a free member. Being a free member is an option, and at least gets you in the door to see what's going on. But if you want to vote anything, and I'm trying not to really go crazy with it. Like, we have a $3 tier, and I'm going to give you as much as possible out of the $3 tier. If you want to go to one of the higher tiers, you're welcome to, and thank you for doing it. And Sam will kick me in the butt for saying this, but like, I want to give everybody as much as I can for the most affordable tier possible, because look, it's a tough economy right now, and I want to be a giver, not a taker.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna kick you for that, but I do think we'll take a look and see what super excellent
Yeah,
things we can
yeah, you
offer
hear him
to
right now. You
anyone
hear
who
him, everybody.
wants to
Yeah.
drop a little extra on there. But well, yeah, no, yeah, $3 gets you everything you could ever want, and $1 gets you enough. So there you go. All right.
I don't think $1 gets you anything. Don't worry about
No,
being a
it's
$1 member. Maybe we'll add that at a certain point.
yeah.
But it
It
is what
just
it is.
gets you
Guys, we're still
the
we are
notice that we're
literally
doing it.
still,
Yeah. All right.
Sam, you're right. We're still putting this together as we talk right now. So, come on in, join us, have some fun, and let's do the thing.
All right. That being said, let's get into our reviews, which it looks like we just have this one. Is that accurate?
Just
All
the
right.
one. Just one
Okay.
review.
All right. This is from Mr. Squirrel 2099. It's titled A Startling Upset. This upset was probably one of the biggest upsets in the Who Would Win Masters short history. I did not think Airwolf would do as well as it did. However, it still did not, in my opinion, do enough to take down the Dragon Erebor. The best case scenario, Airwolf hits his weak spot and Smaug takes them seriously and absolutely wrecks them. Or worst case, he flies relatively nearby them, and the shock wave knocks them out of the air. Good show, still a 10-star out of 5. Ray is right. Listen, I got to
Thank you.
tell you that, usually we do this. I make my decision. I walk away. I'm like, ba, ba, ba. I feel good. I sleep okay at night. This entire past 2 weeks, I have been replaying this episode in my head, and I don't know. I can't get it right around my head anymore. It is, I don't think it's this close where it's like, boom, and then, like, the dragon retaliates. I think it's a 50-50, whoever gets the first shot off wins kind of scenario. I think going back, if I were to do this again, I'd really need to get math nerdy on this and have some really specific details on how far away can those missiles or guns be fired, and how effective are Smog's wings at making a tornado. Because, like, obviously, movie versus the book and the animation all have various sizes, and at a certain size, I don't know. I don't know that anything can stay in the air against him. So who knows? No, I may have called this wrong.
Look, I'll tell you right now, you called it wrong, but that is what it is. This leads us to our polling, which we do check out the Mortalverse Discord. If you're not a fan of the Mortalverse, and we're going to take a little bit of a pause on Mortalverse episodes as we sort out the feed. Sure. I have reached out to Matthew Dawson, and he is more than okay with it. We're going to come back in the new year. We're going to kind of figure out what we're doing with everything. Yep. And we're going to make some decisions. I would love to keep turning this into a network where we can present to you the Who Would Win Masters show, but additionally, we can bring you some friends and family that have other wonderful podcast, geek culture related, and turn this back into a thing. But there has to be further conversation before we can just do that, So for right now, we are us, and going forward, we might be Legion. I don't know exactly, but maybe a vampire podcast. Snurts, we're not going to talk about that right now. It's in progress. I'm working on a thing.
Well, if Ray gets a vampire podcast, I get a zombie podcast. It's just my thing.
I'm still working on it. So there are some not safe for work words on that show. You can always check out Reclaim Detroit, my vampire podcast. That's what Snurts is talking about. Yep. The Mortalverse poll on their Discord had 100% of the people. Now, mind you, they vote before the episode. That is an important distinction to make. Based on matchup alone, they try to predict who will win. 100%, every single person who voted for Smaug in the Mortalverse poll. But in the Patreon poll, and I'm not going to say one to another, but I will say that Kevin with Airwolf is in the lead. But we're going to keep this poll open for 2 weeks. We're going to keep this poll open until the next wrap-up episode, which we'll talk about what we're doing there later at the end of the show. And Kevin is winning with Airwolf, but it's small because our Patreon is very, very small. We just started it maybe a day before we recorded all of this, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days. The point is, we didn't really tell anybody. We created a new thing because decisions that were made. And so, again, we encourage you to get on there. You'll be able to vote on this episode and vote on every episode going forward. I want you to have that opportunity. So I did not close the poll because we just
Ray
opened
lost,
the doors.
Is what he's saying. He lost, and he wants to leave it open just a little longer.
Listen, I'll leave it open as long as it takes until I win. The point I'm trying to say. Oh my goodness gracious. But that is our Patreon.
No, that's fair.
Poll, but it is so early. It is not appropriate to say that anybody has won or lost yet. I encourage everyone who cares to go on and vote for Smaug, and let's have Sam get one fan reversal this season.
I gave myself the reversal almost here.
We're almost out of time. Help me out here. Anyway, we're going to go to comments now, and we have honestly a fair number.
Do we have a statement from Kevin we want to get in?
You know what? I apologize. You are correct. Would you read the script? I didn't. I'm going to share a screen right now.
All right.
As I have a video from Kevin, we put it on the Patreon, and I'm just going to go ahead and go full screen with it right here. I'm sharing it. I'm going to present it, and let me know if you can't hear it.
Who would win? I'll tell you who. This guy. Airwolf versus Smog. You kidding me? Possibly one of the greatest episodes in Who Would Win history. Purely based on the expertise, the skill, and the charisma of guest debater Kevin Israel. I came, I saw, and Ray was no more. Ray, look, I love you. I respect you, but I won't tolerate any bad talk of the myth that is Airwolf. All 80s kids unite behind that black flying monster of a helicopter. Airwolf. What an episode. I've received so many compliments, so much praise, so much enthusiasm for that episode that all I can say to Ray and the Who Would Win team is, you're welcome. I don't think you'll be having me back on anytime soon. I mean, I wouldn't. But if you do, I'll be ready.
Right.
And that right
Yep,
there
there you
was
go.
Kevin Israel. I mean, what can you say? He did a much better job on the show than I was expecting, and I mean that with as much disrespect as possible. Good job, Kevin Israel. You exceeded my expectations. And I mean that as rudely as possible.
He came flying out of the gates, if you will.
Wow.
Snurts in the chat says, he is the Airwolf, the confidence of the 80s generation. That's right. Yeah. He definitely
All of
had the
it's true.
confidence for sure.
He really is.
Yeah.
He really is. But here's the deal. We have comments, and I have Snurts' comment to lead us off today.
Nice.
Snurts posted this comment. No getting away from it now, even though you're in the chat with us. Another round where my vote is split between the Mortalverse and Patreon polls. I really thought that this was a slam dunk for Ray and Smaug. Kevin, however, did an excellent job repping Airwolf. I hadn't seen Airwolf in years. Was there no recurring trope in the show about needing to rearm and refuel? I think I talked about that. I assumed Smaug could dodge and burn up attacks and just wait for the chopper to run out of ammo, taking advantage of his superior endurance. I believe that was part of my argument.
I think that.
So
that
I don't know how you agree with my argument, but yet you voted for Airwolf. Snurts, you're an interesting fellow. Let's move on to the next one.
Again, this comes down to like how far can that fire blast go versus how far can the chopper shoot, at least partly. All right, Bjorn the Viking. Yeah, partly. Says, my biggest thing leaning to Smaug, if Airwolf shoots a missile from distance, how fast does a missile travel? That's my whole thing. Smaug should see it and be able to react in plenty of time to avoid or use his breath to destroy the missile, assuming that he figures out that these missiles are attracted to heat.
Also, well, I mean, he's used to thing being projected at him. I would think he would.
I don't recall him breathing fire at Black Arrow, but
he should have.
He should have. That would be a different story.
Fair.
Also, stealth won't play into this. Dragons/worms have a strong attraction to gold and precious metals. They can smell or sense it. High-tech 80s equipment, well, this is an interesting point, was filled with gold in the wiring and plugs. Smaug can track the gold in Airwolf and know the general area where he is. That is a very interesting point.
Very good point. Yeah.
But that was not brought up during the show. Maybe that would have changed things. I don't know if it's enough. I don't think that's the silver bullet, but it is a very interesting point.
It's very honestly, like I thought Bjorn brought up a really good point there. I wish he would have brought up such good points when he was on the show himself. I'm coming for heat right now. That's what I'm doing. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Yeah, I went for it. Anyway, Delvin Cox is here, and he says, well, he's not here, but he said only Kevin Israel could make a valid argument for werewolf ... versus a freaking dragon. Yep. It was a valid argument. Was it good enough? I don't think so. But the people on patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters will tell me. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Those people, including Forbidden Mob, who says, man, Kevin Israel came in hot. That man did his research. What an episode. The guys had me cracking up. A must listen for sure. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. Was
and definitely a great episode. Yeah.
And then we got a few off. We got a few of these off of the Mortalverse Discord because obviously we didn't have a Patreon that we were connected to. So we're gonna keep on going with that. The Garen Seho, who said, unless Airwolf is made of adamantium and strengthened by magic, Smaug solos. I agree.
I mean,
I agree 100%.
Isn't high tech just another word for magic? Isn't science the magic of dreams? All right. Anyway,
No,
isn't
you're just
Matthew
wrong about
Dawson
that.
the next commenter? Matthew Dawson
Yes, he is.
says, yes, he is. It was a very good episode, a lot closer than I initially thought it'd be. I'll have to give this one some thought. Well, you have 2 weeks
Well,
apparently, so
I want the
come on
follow-up.
back.
Matthew Dawson, I know that you joined the Patreon. Let's get a vote in there. That's all I'm trying to say. The final one here came via email. You can always
Yep,
email us.
absolutely.
You know, we have a new
Yep.
email address. We got
That's
to
right.
change all the posts because it's whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. We try to make it easy for you people at home. But Luke, who had been writing us at the previous email address, has now pivoted, writing us on the new one.
The new
and
one?
Luke,
Thank you, Luke.
early adopter. I love to see it. I love to see it. He says, Dear Ray and Sam, I was blown away by the new episode Smog versus Airwolf. This episode deserves an A rank. Not too shabby. Thumbs up. As much as I absolutely love the Hobbit trilogy and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and yes, I know Smog is only in the Hobbit, but what the heck? Smiley face. I unfortunately think that Airwolf would win, but not through death, but through incapacitation and knockout.
Okay.
It's been well established that a black arrow is the only thing that can kill a dragon in the world of Middle-earth. I think that, theoretically, Airwolf, with just the right timing, could, step 1, use his missiles and bullets and whatnot to potentially blind Smaug by blowing his eyes to bits.
That's interesting.
Step 2, overwhelm Smaug's sense of smell and hearing after being blinded. Step 3, Airwolf's ammo could loosen Smaug's scales. I don't think that's how scales work, but I'll keep going. And Airwolf could get some good enough shots in with the right timing to not kill Smaug, but wound him to the point where he falls to the ground incapacitated. And step 4, finally, finish the fight with a barrage to knock Smaug unconscious for more than 2 minutes. That's very interesting. At least that way, Tolkien's lore for Middle-earth would stay relatively consistent, in the sense that, again, a black arrow is the only thing that can kill a dragon in Middle-earth. Thank you, and I hope you turkeys have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Luke.
Luke.
The football was kind of sucky, but I enjoyed Thanksgiving overall anyway. I try not to let the results of the old pigskin affect my mood the way I used to. I'm trying to grow, is what I'm trying to say. We all have that chance to grow, and I think it's possible.
Nice. I just want to say that, Luke, I feel like that is a solid path to victory that you've laid out, possibly better than even Kevin Israel himself. All right, I want to give a quick shout out to our latest YouTube subscribers. And again, you can find us at youtube.com/@whowouldwinmasters.
Yes, please.
And that is Lord Snurts, Matthew Dawson, John Shanks, and who knows, maybe you'll get on our next shout out. If you subscribe today, head over there. And right now, we're going to head into a break, and we'll see you soon. All right, we're back. And speaking of the YouTube, which we were right before that break, we had one more poll that we put out there during the episode. Yeah, during the episode in which Steve Moulton joined us. Ray had talked about K-pop Demon Hunters. I believe you had just seen it in the sing-along movie experience. And I put out to our audience, initially just as an open-ended question, who the K-pop Demon Hunters should fight in a potential episode or just in general. And people came back with things like, Steve Moulton said the Mighty Ducks right away. We had Kingdom Hearts, we had Pokemon, we had Josie and the Pussycats. I think from one of my alternate accounts, possibly Cute Avalanche, I think I put Thundercats out there, but I was the only one that really did that. So I put together an unofficial poll because I did not ask Ray if he would actually do this. But, if the people want it, the people want it. So there isn't a poll. It is still running technically because YouTube polls never end. They are
eternal.
Infinite. So
they will outlive us all.
You could go to youtube.com/@whowouldwinmasters, find the post section, scroll down until you find that poll and still vote on this. But as it stands, at number 4 with a mere 7% of the vote, Josie and the Pussycats. It's a damn shame because, I guess. 13% is Ash Ketchum and the Pokemon. That was 3 specific Pokemon that you can see in that post.
I'm surprised it only to hit
Yeah,
third place.
I am a little shocked by that. At 27% is Sora, Donald, and Goofy from Kingdom Hearts. That was suggested by Eric Heiting.
That
And
is
of
a
course,
terrible matchup if you know anything about Kingdom Hearts.
I don't, but I was like, that seems weird. Shocking that that is so much higher than Pokemon. And of course, Steve Moulton with apparently, I have to assume, just tons of his own fake accounts. The
Maybe.
Mighty Ducks with 53%. So that's where that stands. I don't know, Ray, how do you feel about repping K-pop against one of these in a future episode?
It's real funny because, you know, in this weird social media, weird desert nexus transition point that we were in, we posted a bunch of stuff about the show and we got, you know, some responses, but not as many as we're used to given what's happening. And yet we posted one thing about should the K-pop Demon Hunters be repped on the show, and people lost their minds. It was exciting in both directions. Some people were like, 1,000% the K-pop Demon Hunters should be on the show.
It's very polarizing.
And then there were a handful of Naismiths. I would say maybe about 25% of the audience that were like, no bleeping way should the K-pop Demon Hunters be on the show. They're made to be on this show. And so Snert, yeah, it was crazy. Lord Snertz in our chat suggests the Powerpuff Girls.
I believe I said that when we did this in the wrap up with Steve. I believe I put Powerpuff Girls out there because it immediately came to me because Gina.
Yeah, really good Gina Ippolito, TV's Gina Ippolito. She was on the Buffy versus Jason episode. You should also check out the Witching Hour, the YouTube channel for horror from the new Rock Stars. Big fan of it. I just watched her Freddy versus Jason video. I want to shout that out. You should absolutely watch it. I have a different idea. Could the K-pop Demon Hunters take down a Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Demons army of 1,500 points? Now, I haven't played for a few years. I believe now you play maybe 2,000 point games. I could be wrong about this. I would need to do some research, and that's crazy because whether you know it or not, I worked for the Warhammer people as a job for like 8 years. I worked a long time for that company. It is insane. I love me some Warhammer.
Nice.
The point I'm trying to make is, could the 3 K-pop Demon Hunters take down an entire like Zinch or Nurgle army?
Yeah.
Nashcorn. I'll say all 4. There's only 4. And could they do it? I don't know. I would be interested to take, quite honestly, either side of this debate. Maybe I get a Warhammer expert on the show and we can talk about this. I would take K-pop, or I get somebody who loves the K-pop Demon Hunters on the show and I'll take the Warhammer side. Trust me, I am equally equipped to do either side of this battle as a true debater should be. What do you people think at home? Is that a battle you would be interested in? Is there a different opponent you would want to see? I am up for conversation. It's not going to happen this year. This is a next year conversation to have. But my goodness, I kind of think it should happen.
Nice. Yeah. All right. That's interesting. Yeah. It kind of plays into that show idea I put out there a while, episode or 2 ago with, you know, how many could you kill something with? I like that concept. I want to see that played out a little.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I wonder if they've got a sequel in the works. I think they probably must.
Oh, they have to have a sequel in the works.
Hold that battle on until they announce that release date.
I don't think I'm ready to wait 2 years for that. The cool thing, Sam,
they
is
just
that
have
if
to
we get it out,
make the announcement so that they're searching.
No, if we get it out really, really fast, then we can just do it again in 2 years. What are we talking about?
That's true. Then we have 4 potential other matches that we've already laid out.
Yeah, let's do a thing. I don't know. I love the Warhammer theme, but of course I do. It's my thing.
Yeah.
You know, what am I going to say? We're going to talk about, we're going to take a moment right now to talk about what we're watching, what we're playing. And I'll go first. I am in my Sopranos rewatch. I know that I talk about this every single time we do the wrap up. I am now midway through season 6, the final season of The Sopranos. I'm about 15 episodes deep. And here's what's funny is, like, every season up until the last season was like 13 episodes. And so I hit episode like 11 and I said, all right, I'm going to finish this show tonight. And then I got about halfway through episode 12, beginning of episode 13. And I'm like, I feel like there's a lot more that's yet to happen based on someone who's seen the show before. I don't think what's happening? I look it up and it's 20 some odd episodes of the last season. So I do have more work to do, but I'm maybe a couple of viewing sessions, 2 or 3 more of finishing The Sopranos. And I still feel the same way. I see a lot of cracks in the last season. I think they knew where they wanted to go eventually. And I think that the season or two leading up to season 6, seasons 4 and 5, they were probably spinning their wheels just a little bit because they weren't quite ready to end because they like money. And I appreciate that as someone else who equally likes money and wants to keep doing things forever. I get it. But The Sopranos, here's the deal, great show. If you're a younger person, haven't checked it out, this is where the Breaking Bads and the rest of it, I've said it before, this is where it all comes from, really, as far as episodic, important television goes. This was the precursor to even like Lost and other shows that you would consider the grandfathers of this whole thing. Check it out. If you got some time, you got an HBO Max, or should I just call it Max? Or should I call it, what do we even call it anymore? Nobody knows. If you have whatever that is, check it out. If you want a kind of adult-based show based around the mafia that is highly watchable, you could do worse.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I've been watching Man on the Inside, the new season of
Love it.
that, which is Ted Danson, and this season added Mary Steenburgen as his love interest, which for those of you not in the know, that is his wife.
How about that?
And it's very like kind of just fun to watch them pretend to have this first encounter and like burgeoning relationship. It's like it's really amusing. And then the show itself, you know, he's this older gentleman who has kind of found just abundance of free time in his life and ends up becoming a private investigator. And it's a little bit silly and funny, but it's so well done. And like anything Ted Danson does is just charming and amusing. And I'm I'm sad that we finished it already. I need more episodes.
I love that. I saw the first, I want to say, 2 seasons of that show. It's a Michael Schur show. So you might know him from The Good Place. It's the same guy who made The Good Place, made Man on the Inside. I also like it. I don't think Michael Schur made this one, but Mr. Mayor. He did 2 seasons of Mr. Mayor in which Ted Danson plays like the mayor of Los Angeles, and Bobby Moynihan
that was
steals
great.
the show in it.
Yeah.
It's a good show to kind of go, if you just want some brain dead sitcom fun.
Yeah.
Ted Danson is a legend. I can't suggest it enough. Or go check out Cheers. I don't know. That was a pretty good show. I don't know if it holds
was
up.
a pretty good show.
But I used to watch the heck out of it back in the 90s. I don't know.
Yeah, but Man on the Inside definitely, you know, has that feel of Mr. Mayor and The Good Place. Not quite as over the top as the Good Place kind of goes, because you know it really goes crazy. But you can tell the minute you said that they were from the same person, I hadn't even realized it, and I was like, oh, of course. I mean, he's really just playing a very similar version of, you know, that character without all of the devil stuff, the demon stuff.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you know. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. There's more seasons to come, I'm sure.
You should check out all of the above. That's great. So
for sure.
I did, and I don't think I talked about that. I mentioned this on the show. I don't think I'd finished it yet, but Dispatch. I've been playing on PlayStation 5 Dispatch from the Critical Role family of voice actors and the Telltale Game Studio, the people who did Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones, etc., etc. Love this studio, love their games. Bummer what happened to the OG. The point is, I really, really like this game. If you're into superheroes and kind of like avant-garde superhero stuff that isn't mainstream, sort of indie superhero stuff, it's a whole game that is about watching a thing happen and then making choices throughout it. And then there are these dispatch sections where you send heroes out on jobs and try to do your best. I have finished it. I thought the story was excellent. I thought the voice cast was absolutely top notch. There were a couple of story decisions in the last episode to finish it off that I didn't feel was as earned as I wish that they had been. A couple of things happened in my playthrough, and I felt like I had played to a different result, but got a result that I don't think I deserved. And I don't want to spoil anything. That's all I'm going to say. If you played the game, maybe you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure there's a lot of discussion online that will mirror what I'm saying because I don't think I'm alone in some opinions, but I don't look at that stuff. I only look at what I think because let's face it, I have an ego problem.
What? I don't
Some have
that
said
can't be right. Swear.
seems outrageous.
No, Gem. Gem is outrageous.
Truly.
Truly, right on. Yeah. So recently, my daughter went off to a birthday party with her best friend, and they went to go see Wicked as their birthday party thing. And my wife and I were like, I guess we have to go see that because when else are we going to have a chance to go see that without her? We don't want to pay for a fourth ticket, right? Right. So
I
we
get
went
it.
and we saw Wicked for good, and it was a very intense day because we had like a lot of back to back things going on. But yeah, we went, we saw it, and if you liked the first part of Wicked, this was great. I will say there were a few moments where I was like, I don't know, does this make sense? And I think you have to discount some of the Wizard of Oz and Return to Oz for it, you have to give up on those tendrils connecting. It's a few minor things that you have to be a real big nerd to have, have caught. But yeah, I thought it was well done. The production's really good. Obviously, the acting's great. The songs are as good as what if you like musicals. And that's it. That's all I gotta say, I think.
Do the wheelies
No
do they
wheelies.
factor
There's no
into what's happening?
wheelies. No,
Wow.
but they should, right?
So here's the deal. Return to Oz is the scariest movie ever made. And
Oh
I'll
my
go ahead and
God.
I'll just put that
Yes.
out there. I am a fan of horror movies as a kid, as a youngster, up until probably college age.
Yeah.
I was too scared to watch horror movies. It was too
Mm.
much for me. I was worried that it would mess with my brain. I made a
Oh,
lot of
wow.
excuses that probably were just I was too
Yeah.
scared to watch. Let's keep it real. Return to Oz, I saw as a young kid, and
Yeah.
that was the most terrifying movie of my entire life. You had those wheelies, you had the lady who like took her head off and had different
Ouch.
heads that she could put on. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
If you have children and you hate them, show them Return to Oz like my parents did and get a disturbed and broken child.
Yeah, I think I was maybe 9 or 10 when I saw Return to Oz, and it was definitely the scariest thing I had ever seen. Soon to be followed by, like, Poltergeist and,
It's a
just
tough
that
one.
one scene in Labyrinth, which is very similar with the
Yes.
heads. Yeah, like, the good God. I don't know why that's allowed.
I would
No
argue
taking
Labyrinth
heads off.
has multiple scenes that are too scary right along Return to Oz, but Return to Oz, like Labyrinth was at least like Muppety fun.
Yeah.
Return to Oz was like, we're going to use the best technology and puppetry of the day, like Dark Crystal, to
Oh,
scare the
God, Dark
heck out of
Crystal's
you
amazing. Yeah,
and
uh-huh.
upset you. These are like, I don't know about Return to Oz. I haven't seen it because it's too much. Maybe I should see it again to kill
Let's
its
do a movie
power.
night,
I don't
yeah,
know. But Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, obviously brilliant, genius. Everyone should see them. Return to
definitely.
Oz, maybe it's like older horror movies that the scary doesn't hold up. But in the moment, holy crap, that set me back 10 years of horror movies. Shame on Return to Oz.
I mean, I feel like that movie is, I think it holds up. Like, I can't like, there's a lot of movies where you look back and you're like, "I could see how maybe it would be a little campy," but I don't feel like it does. Like, maybe the wheelies aren't as bad, maybe, but,
I don't
like,
know, man.
anything Fairuza Balk does, I think, it's
Brilliant.
just scary because
Well,
she's
she's
in it.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Look,
she's great.
here's a movie that if you go back and watch it in the year 2025, you're
Yeah.
going to be surprised. And I'm going to shock you when I say this. The Terminator.
Hmm.
If you watch The Terminator with its CGI versus
Mm,
puppetry of the
sure.
robot monster, if you've seen Army of Darkness where the skeletons are like up on posts and they're waving them around in front of the camera, you have prepared yourself for what Terminator actually is. And
Hmm,
I'm not going to say it's not brilliant. I'm not going to say it's not one of the top 5, top 10
yeah,
sci-fi movies of all time. Snurts is right. It's an old movie, and I'm
yes.
not trying to discredit it. But if you watch it now, I was scared of this movie in high school and middle school when it came out because
Wow.
I'm an old. But if you watch it now, it is absurd. The puppetry, there is nothing to be scared about, even a little bit. I would show the original Terminator, sexy aside, to my own kid
All right.
because it is silly if you break down the effects.
Hmm.
Sorry, old movies.
Wow. I'll have to go see if that's right. What else you
And
got
I have
coming
one
up?
more. I got one
Yeah,
more to talk about here, and then we'll get out of
me
here.
too. I have one more also.
Oh, great. Fast and Furious 4. So I've had a conversation. I wanted to do a Fast and Furious rewatch. These are some of my favorite movies of all time. I don't make a secret of it. I think these are brilliant pieces of art. But I have an argument all the time, especially with my own family. Which Fast and Furious movie do you start with if you're
Mm,
going to start giving them a chance?
okay.
And the answer for a long time for me is 5. You
Mm,
start with 5. That's when The Rock started showing up. That's where they
sure.
started to
Yeah.
embrace the absurdity. That's when Fast and Furious really became Fast and Furious. And my wife, TV's Mizoki, star of Who Wants to Do Some Math with Mizoki. If you have kids, go check it out on YouTube. Got to do it. Sam, you know.
Yeah.
But
Do it.
if you're going to watch it, she said to me, start with 4. Don't start with 5, start with
Okay.
4. So we watched 4 over the Thanksgiving weekend, and it's not as absurd. It's crazy, but not as crazy. But I'll tell you what, like in many other things in life, she might be right. I might have to change my opinion, but I got to watch 5 again to be sure. 4 sets the stage for what's about to come in a
Yeah.
really good way, sets up the storylines that we actually care about going forward.
All right.
4 might be the answer to where you start. It's not 1. Go
No.
back and watch 1 after you agree it's awesome. 2 and 3 in the same boat. Start with 4, work forward from there. You're going to love it. That is the Ray guarantee.
All right. Interesting. All right. It's like 1, 2, and 3 are some kind of like fever dream that you have halfway through the franchise.
Yeah, the safe heist happens, I believe, in 5.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe it's 2. I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right, the last thing I have on, and this, listen, I gotta say that I have some issues. I may be a little bit pissed off by this whole thing.
Oh boy.
Uh, I know a lot of you had strong opinions about the last season of Game of Thrones, but
Hmm.
I just watched Stranger Things 5, and first off, I gotta say, it's 4 episodes. Each episode is like almost an hour, if not more, and they get into it. I don't want to give a lot of spoilers. This
No
just came
spoilers
out.
here.
No
Yeah.
spoilers. This just came out, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. We'll get back into it later. But it ends on a I was like watching it, and something very pivotal happened, and I was like, "Oh yeah, let's get some popcorn and get into this." And then it's like, "No, we're done. Come back December 25th." And I was like, "What the hell?" I did
Wow.
not know that it was essentially a two-parter, and the
Okay.
second part is it's a whole movie. So I was a little
Look, I'm still
pissed.
I'm still mad at Cobra Kai because they did it in
Ah,
3 parts and didn't tell anybody in the final season. I'm still enraged
yeah,
that they did that.
yep,
So end of part 1, I was like, that's a weird part. Oh, there's a part 2. End of part 2, I'm like, okay, not so
yeah,
satisfied. Oh, there's a part 3.
yeah,
What are we doing here, people? How much money do you need? How much stretching it out must
right.
happen? I have
How much
I
karate
like
can we have, folks?
it's a lot of kids. I like Stranger Things. Here's the deal.
Yes,
Season 1, best season. The last season was season 5, the one before
yeah.
this one, is that right?
No, this is 5
Second best
now.
season.
Yeah, 4
Like
was the
it sort of
last one. Yeah,
faltered a little. Then it came back with Vecna in a big way, and
yeah,
they blew the doors off of it. I loved it. I'm back invested again when
yeah.
I was
No,
sort of like, I don't know, we're starting to lose it.
it's
I'm ready for
fantastic.
this
Look,
last season.
it's real good. I'm just mad that I have to wait for this movie, and potentially now I have to go spend $60 to go see it with I can't even see it with the family in the theater because I can't
Wow.
take my kids to that. Yeah, they're not
No,
ready
that's
for
a
that.
lot.
They
I'm
haven't even
just, I'm
watched any
not
of them.
I'm not ready for the kids from Stranger Things to get their hips replaced.
Yeah,
How long has this
they
show
are a
been on
little
the
old.
air?
They're a little old. I saw somebody being like, "How much further can I suspend my disbelief about these 30-year-olds playing teenagers?" And I was like, "Well, it can't be that bad." And then I watched it, and I was like, "I mean, it's close."
Look, if you're a fan of 1980s movies, 30-year-olds
Yeah.
playing high
I
schoolers
was like,
is
"Yeah, that's
right in the
fine.
ballpark. So let's just
I've
keep it
seen
real.
worse."
Yes, we
Um,
all have.
Snert says, "I felt the same way about Spider-Verse too."
Oh, that's
Right,
interesting.
sure. Mhm. But
I
yeah,
haven't
no,
seen Spider-Verse 2, I'll be honest.
I
I need
don't
to see that.
I can't remember if I have or not at this point. There's so many stupid movies. Uh, um, yeah, Stranger Things 5 is fantastic. It's very well done. And yeah, I'll be going to see that, I guess, on Christmas Day instead of
So
spending
wait,
time with my family.
so it's a movie and not a TV show. It's like a 2-hour movie to end it after this?
After this, yes. That
Wow,
is
okay.
is apparently what's happening. According to
Interesting.
my
I
wife,
need
I
to
have
get caught up.
not confirmed that on the internet.
Understood.
Let's
Here's the deal. Unconfirmed reports on the Who Would Win Masters show say that that's what's happening.
yeah. Anyway,
And that is going to do it for us. Sam, can you give us the socials one more time?
of course.
Well, we'll get out of here. It's been long enough.
Yeah, listen, you can find us everywhere as Who Would Win Masters, but let's specifically set you up for success. Head over to Instagram.com/Who Would Win Masters, where you can also go over to Threads. I don't think we're doing so much on Threads just yet, but maybe in the future.
No, we are.
Are
I'm
we?
doing
Ooh.
things on Threads. It's just that's where we need the most help. Twitter
Okay.
is dead. It's
Yeah.
70% Russian and bots from Eastern Europe and Asia and Africa, and it's absurd. Did you see where Twitter let their
Oh, yeah.
locations be known
Oh,
for like
yeah.
2 hours?
It's
And it turned out that
hilarious.
almost all the accounts that pretended to be from here are all foreign born. Twitter is dead. If you're still on Twitter, what are you? All you're doing is arguing with bot farms.
Yep.
Get off of Twitter. Get on to Threads. I don't work for Meta or Facebook or Threads or Instagram. It's the better place to be. I promise. We need some help over at Threads. Join us there. We will go out of our way to read your stuff on Threads when you send it in.
Yeah. And the same is true for YouTube. Go to youtube.com/at Who Would Win Masters.
Yes.
It's not just the videos. There's a whole bunch of posts over there, and I will totally talk to you and we'll give you shout outs on future episodes. And continue your votes for Smog versus Airwolf at patreon.com/Who Would Win Masters. And as always, if you think you've got what it takes to be a part of Who Would Win
Well, hold on a
Masters,
sec.
we're not.
I'm not
We
ready to
gotta,
get out
we
the
gotta,
door just yet because we haven't
we
talked
gotta
about the
set up
next
the
battle
next
yet.
week. That's right.
Yes. I didn't put that in the notes and I should
That's
have.
true.
Fail on me. But here's
That's
the
all
deal.
right.
We wanted to do something special for December. We wanted to do something special for all the listeners of Who Would Win Masters of the previous Who Would Win show. And I wanted to bring forth an important figure from Who Would Win show history. And so I reached out to a few people, and those people turned me down. It's part of the reason why we're here.
And then Ray reached out to Abraham Lincoln, and I was like, Ray, he is very dead. He's very dead.
I reached out
Weird.
to Abraham Lincoln, and his estate didn't. They said, leave us alone. We're filing a restraining order.
Sorry.
So here's the deal. I have, and it's going to be a little bit of a surprise. I have a guest debater for Who Would Win Masters next week. The battle itself is going to be Darth Vader versus Dr. Doom. We are going for the ultimate evil battle because that is a battle that needs to be discussed. Those are two amazing characters that we need to talk about. And I couldn't be more excited to be doing it. I will be repping Dr. Doom in this particular battle. That's for all you people on the Mortalverse Discord, so you know ahead of time. I usually don't like to say, but Lord Sturts asked me in the chat. That's an advantage of being in chat. You can get information. So this is a surprise, but this is a person who is important to the history of the Who Would Win show and Who Would Win Masters as a direct result. I will not say more than that. I am enthused to have this person on the show when others turned me down.
Lincoln. All right. Yeah, if you want to see
It is the reanimated corpse of Abraham Lincoln.
It might not be. But if you want to see who it is, make sure to join us for the next battle episode and see who's in that challenger's chair. And if you think you've got what it takes, record a 1-minute video demo of yourself and send that to whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. And maybe we'll see you in the challenger's chair for Who Would Win Masters. This is Sam Proof. Stay strong.